We meet Mo Fan, a third-year student. This one was nervous about the exam he had given, and not because he had not paid attention in class, but because the exam was about magic. This all started 3 months ago when he was sleeping in the mountain and an old man gave him a necklace. His classmates made fun of Mo Fan because he was the worst in the class, and there was also one of the best, Mu Bai of the Mu family, who used the ice element. Outside, he was waiting for his father and asked him how he did. He gave him the impression that he did badly. His father told him that he got him a job, but he confesses that he wants to study magic. His father tells him that if he really wants to learn, he will help him. He was walking with his friend and sees his father asking a guy for help. He tells him that they shouldn't even show up after what his son did. Mo Fan's father says that he will do anything if he helps his son to get into magic school. He tells Mo Fan that he solved the school, but he knows what he had to do. Mo Fan remembers the time he ran away with Mu Ning, the daughter of the leader of the Mu family, and the one who paid for that was his father. The classes in the magic school had started, and for them to stay, they had to awaken their magic element. He gives them a badge which would shine when the awakening happened. It would shine with the corresponding color. If it was green, it was wind. If it was red, it was fire. If it was gold, it was light, and so on and so on. The first to do the awakening is Mu Bai, and he has his ice awakening, and his badge already had a star. It is normal that none of them are lit. Mu Fan's friend had a light awakening. Mo Fan's turn comes, and everyone did not trust him, and they thought he would fail. If they did not get any element, he would have to leave. When he concentrates, he sees that the color of his element was violet. Someone in the class next to him had a lightning awakening. Lightning was the strongest element there was, and only 1 out of 1,000 people had it. But apparently this time it was 2 out of 1,000, because Mu Fan's sphere was violet, but it changed to red. Mu Fan wonders why it is red, as he thought it was violet, but he remembers that red is fire and is the second strongest. His master is happy to have awakened fire. Mo Fan decides to keep it a secret that he has 2 elements. To master element and use it, they had to align 7 stars. Mu Bai had 5 aligned, and that was shown in his badge. On the other hand, Mo Fan only had 1 star, seeing that everyone was Basareba practice and could already align their stars of his lightning element, was a star to use his element. Mo Fan reaches a park, and there we know Yijin Jia, and we see that they had taken his wheelchair. This will ask them to give it back, but they say no. The protagonist gets angry and manages to align his 7th star and throws a ray. The others get scared and run away when they see that he was a magician. Mo Fan gives his chair back to Yijin Jia, and she is surprised that he can use magic. On the side of Mu Bai tells his uncle that he already controls 5 stars. He tells him to make an effort because in the annual exam would be the lady, and that if he stands out, it would be good for him. He also asks about Mo Fan and tells him that he is the worst in the class. Yijin Jia is surprised that he has mastered that element in only half a year. He asks him if he joined the Heijiao Team organization, which is an organization that uses black magic to make him master his element, but Mo Fan tells him that he awakened his elements long ago. There he realizes that he cannot tell anyone about his second element, and Yijin Jia says nothing. The next day, his magic practice teacher arrives. Tang Yu, who was a bearer of the fire element, and shows him the ignition spell. Mo Bai's uncle wanted Mo Fan to fail the annual exam. Mu Bai tells him that although he is the worst in the class, he does not think he will fail. Then his uncle shows him a stone that absorbs the energy of the crystal sphere, and with that he will get a grade worse than D and will be expelled. They would not have problems because the supervisor was his friend, and he would place the stone when it is Mo Fan's turn. Mo Fan could already align 5 stars, but did not have enough magical energy, so he decided to increase that. The day of the exam had arrived, and they would use a sensory crystal sphere that allows to determine the amount of magical energy. Also, they could take an optional release exam that consisted of aligning the 7 stars and use their element, and if they managed to pass, they would enter the elite class where they would use magical equipment, which accelerates the magical training. The principal thanks for the presence of Professor Mu and Mu Ning, a prodigy who entered the university at the age of 15. Mu Ning demonstrates the test by freezing part of the ground and breaking the sphere, and so she goes one by one doing the test. Mo Fan's friend gets an A, and he takes the liberation test. He was close, but does not make it. Mu Bai's turn comes, and she gets an S, and also takes the liberation test, thus getting a B. Mu Bai's uncle asks what she thought, and Ning Zhu says, "It's okay." Her Her father tells her that she should leave, but Ningzhu decides to stay to see Mo Fan. The stone was already under the sphere, and Mo Fan takes her place. As soon as she starts, the glow was very faint, and this draws the attention of the teacher Tang Yu. Despite all that, Mo Fan destroys the stone and gets a B. The teacher asks her to take the test again as she believes the sphere is defective, and if the result is the same, she will be responsible. She changes the sphere and Mo Fan gets an S, surprising everyone. Mo Fan says he will take the release test. There, he surprises them again, getting an A. The director highlights his talent and calls him and tells him that from now on, he will be of the Mu family. But Mo Fan rejects him, telling them that he is not a dog raised by him, and that he doesn't want anything from him. He tells him that he hasn't forgotten everything he did to his father. Mu Zhu Yun gets angry, and the director tells him to calm down. The director tells Mo Fan to take back what he said, but he tells him that his father has hip problems because of him, and they didn't apologize. Mu Zhu tells him that he has no need to apologize to the trash, and asks for his expulsion, to which the principal objects. Mu Bai says that he will face him. There, Mu Zhu says that he has a foster son named Yu Ang, who is his age, and he will face him. Mo Fan accepts and says that if he loses, he will kneel down, but if he wins, he will have to apologize to his father. Teacher Tang Yu says that you can't have a mage duel with under 18 years old, so the duel would be held in 2 years. The teacher welcomes them to the elite class, where they had a number based on their qualification, and the top 3 was Mo Fan as the first, Mu Bai as the second, and the other lightning carrier was the third. Teacher Tang Yu would still be their magic practice teacher. The teacher explains that they will use the equipment 1 month, and it will be based on the number they have. The first to use it would be Mo Fan, but he would only use it 10 days. So in fact, in the part if someone is to lose or damage the equipment, he would be expelled. Mu Bai was talking about how he has a 20-day head start to beat Mo Fan. There he approaches and asks him if Yu Ang has a magic equipment. Mu Bai tells him that Yu Ang is using it for 3 or 4 months, but thanks to him, he will use it 6 months. Mo Fan tells him that the old man is stingy, but explains to him that the equipments are very valuable, and even in the family itself there are rotations. He also tells him that Yu Ang is using a spiritual grade magic equipment which was twice as effective as the normal ones. The normal ones increase the training speed by 20%, but the spiritual one increases it by 40%. Mu Fan was wondering how the second level of fire element was, when his necklace moves weird and needs the equipment. The teacher appears and asks him what he is doing. He tells him that he was looking at the stars, but he doesn't believe him and asks him to tell him if he damaged the equipment. He explains that the necklace ate the equipment. The electric teacher, that is a magical growth equipment, can absorb all kinds of spiritual forms and become a spiritual magical equipment. There, Mo Fan understands that it was thanks to the necklace that he can master his 2 elements. The teacher tells him that this object is very rare, so she recommends him to keep it hidden. She also tells him that he needs other equipment or spiritual weapons for the necklace to become a spiritual equipment. And regarding the equipment he broke, she says that she will solve it and that he owes her one. The students will have a practice in open field and would go to a place where there were monsters. But the place was safe because the guards were watching him. Mo Fan felt that his fire element was restless and wondered if he was reaching the 2nd level. They arrived at the place and were received by Zhang Kong, who told them that they would have to hunt a monster, and if they did so, they would get an A. The students were scared, and the teacher did not agree. There he asked him if his elite students were useless, since the duty of magicians is to protect the city from monsters. Mo Fan asks about the reward for completing the task and tells them that if they complete it, he will give them a magic armor. A magic armor cost too much, and Mo Fan was determined to get it. After a long time, they reach a cave. Mo Fan senses that something is inside, but the others don't believe him and say he is a scaredy cat. But inside was a one-eyed wolf. Mu Bai tries to cast a spell, but fails to even align the 7 stars, and starts to run. A girl wanted to face the wolf, but Mo Fan carries her away. The wolf, in a summoning of the inspector, Mu Bai manages to cast a spell and freezes one of his legs. Then the girl from before returns to face him. She casts a spell and only makes him angry. She is saved by the other lightning user. In spite of everything, the wolf was stronger and leaves the 3 unconscious. It seems that all was lost, but Mo Fan appears and casts a 2nd level incinerate spell. This makes the wolf jump into the water. The wolf summoner says that he no longer has control over the wolf and that the students are in danger. Mo Fan's friend saves the girl. Mo Fan knows that if he did not stop the wolf, many would be hurt, so between the two of them, they take them to the bottom of the cave. San Kong uses his wings to help the students, but sees that the wolf was gone. They tell him that Mo Fan and his friend took him to the bottom of the cave. Already inside, the wolf attacks Mo Fan, but his friend intervenes. Mo Fan uses a lightning spell to immobilize it and then makes a stalactite fall and kill it. San Kong arrives and is surprised that he killed it, but explains how he did it. The others arrive and the professor asks what happened to the wolf. He tells them that if it is dead, the one who summoned it claims his boss for killing it. But he tells him that he did not kill it, but Mo Fan did. He did not want to believe that a student killed his wolf. After that, they are all given a medal for completing the mission. He also tells Mo Fan when he graduates to join them. Mo Fan rejects him and makes him remember what he said about the armor. When giving the medals, he remembers what he saw about the dead wolf. But there he is told that monsters appeared. 2 months later, Mo Fan realizes that only level 2 skills do damage to monsters, and also his lightning element was stagnated by it draining his fire element. He wondered how was the second level of lightning. He remembers what his teacher told him, so he decides to become a hunter and make his necklace become a spiritual equipment. Mo Fan arrives at the Hunter Hall, and there he hears about the City Hunter team. He asks that guy how he could join. He tells him that the line in front was the applicants, and he would only enter if he was a fire bearer. He asks about the lightning bearers, and he tells him that they would fight to have one in their team. The boss was angry because only weak people were applying, and that he was looking for outstanding and elite people. Mo Fan's turn comes and he asks him for his name, and he says Fan Mo. He tells them that he is an electric magician and shows them. He asks if they will accept him, and his boss comes out and says that from now on, he is part of the hunters of the city. Mo Fan tells him that he does not have a hunter's certificate, and the boss tells him that he will go get him one, and tells him that his lightning level is 1, but he says that it does not matter because it is the strongest element. There appears that Munu's cousin, who asks what will happen to the other applicants. He tells her that the quota is already taken. The hunters receive a message of an apparition of a monster in a school for girls, and coincidentally it is Jinjia's. Her boss tells her to go home and that he will be back in a few days. Mo Fan says he wants to go since he is part of the team, and the boss says okay. On the way to the place, Mo Fan calls Jinjia, but he did not answer. They split up to cover more space and send Mo Fan to the dining room, and in the place he receives a call from Jinjia, who explains that he left his cell phone. While talking, I see an eye and that monster attacks him. He gains time until his teammates arrive and confront him. There, the boss throws a level 3 fire ability, but still the rat was not dead and attacks Kai Tang. The water mage does not react in time, but who does? It is Mo Fan and immobilizes the rat. There, his boss claims to the water mage, and I know that she is responsible for protecting others and has to be attentive. The boss makes him an official member for what he had done. There, a sphere comes out of the rat and is absorbed by the necklace. The small sphere could only be seen by Mo Fan. They tell the boss that they found a tunnel and that surely there are the kidnapped girls. The boss says to inform the Magic Council and that they will not be able to take charge. When walking, he meets Jinjia. Mo Fan tells him that he took care of the monsters that were in his school. The next day, they give Mo Fan his payment. He paid in full because he was already an official member. Mubai's uncle goes to tell Yu Ang that his father was looking for him. He also tells him that he has progressed a lot and will soon reach level 3, but for him it was not enough because he was not at the level of Mu Ning. When he was with his father, he explains that he must face Mo Fan. Yu Ang says it will be easy, but there he explains that the sacred spring will also be at stake and that it will be a sign of power of the Mu family. Mo Fan was talking to his friend when the latter says that Zhu Min has set her eyes on him and come to look for him, and maybe it is to invite him on a date, so he leaves them alone. Zhu Min asks if he has time, and Mo Fan says yes. He tells her to meet him at the back gate of the school, and there he explains that she is worried because her grandmother hears tremors, and invited him because he is the strongest magician in the school. So they begin to investigate. Mo Fan uses a powder to find monsters and manages to see footprints. From a hole comes out a wolf with one eye and it begins to eat a homeless man. The wolf was bigger than usual, and Mo Fan tells him to go to his grandmother and then evacuate the area, and then call the police. The wolf goes after Mo Fan and is saved thanks to the shield that San Kong gave him, while on the other side, Kai Tang had arrived and asks what happened. Zhu Min tells him that there is a monster and that his partner is still in his place. She goes quickly to the place. Mo Fan was going to cast a spell, but just arrives Kai Tong and Yuang, who frees the wolf. There, Kai Tang recognizes Mo Fan since as a child he was discovered spying on her. She tells him to leave if he does not want to die and runs away. Yuang asks her who she was and tells her that she is Mo Fan, the one who insulted her father. She quickly reaches a bridge and starts to change. She arrives at the place and the wolf was frozen. She is asked to use her Rayo to immobilize it. The boss could not use his fire since it would free the wolf. He says that he asked for help to the Magic Council and they only have to hold on until the reinforcement arrives. But that was not going to be easy since the wolf is released and was going to evolve. They try to contain it, but it was very strong. It was going to evolve to a tyrant wolf. He was about to free himself and the boss was forced to throw some flame blasts at him, but the wolf was not dead and started to attack. The water mage used a shield and everyone moved away. Mo Fan jumped to save her from an imminent death, but the boss was left alone with the wolf. Mo Fan uses his level 2 spell because the wolves were weak to electricity, but the wolf adapts to electricity. They tell the boss that he should retreat, but there he tells them that they're stupid for not seeing what Far Mo is doing. If they retreat, thousands of people will die, so they were determined to kill the wolf. There comes the reinforcement, which kills the wolf without any problem, and that he was a medium-level magic user. They say that the appearance of giant rats and the giant wolf is due to the sacred spring. With the soul of that wolf, the necklace becomes a spiritual equipment. Also, that he gives money to Jinjia to buy another cell phone. There he comments that he had his awakening and it was of healing element. That was white magic and a higher level was needed to awaken it. His teacher had told him that there were exceptions and that soon he would reach the 7 stars and could use it. Mo Fan's friend tells him that the old man invited many important people for his duel, and besides it was going to be Yuang's birthday. At that moment, the teacher appeared and told them that the director wanted to see him. There he explained that he is preparing to duel with Yuang to be an event where he will show the power they have, and also the sacred spring was at stake. There, he remembered what is the sacred spring to the wolf and believes that if a magician uses it, he will pass quickly to the advanced level. The director explained to him that there is a sacred spring in the city that is over 1,000 years old, which is very helpful to the training of magicians, but they only let the most outstanding magician have access to it every year. The school's candidate was Mo Fan, but the family's candidate was Yuang. Introduced his adopted son, teach Mo Fan a lesson and also the right to use the sacred spring. He tells him that he has everything against him since Yuang had better training and has equipment at his disposal. The principal tells him to give his best, show what he is capable of, and save the school's reputation a little. The night before the meeting, Lu Ning tells Mo Fan not to show up as Yuang will not be merciful to him and will hurt him so that he will not show up for the entrance exams. He tells him that he will fight for his father who has always protected him, and thanks to him he got into the school and always supported him. Also that when he remarried, in less than a week Jinjia's mother abandoned him, but he kept taking care of her. After he has been taken as a fool and no one ever respected him, and all that he had to endure to protect his son. The time came for him to prove that what his father did was not in vain. Kai Tang was receiving his guests from the hunters of the city when Mo Fan arrives and greets them and she claims him for calling her by her name. There he remembers that they know Fan Mo and not Mo Fan. There he says that he greets them for the old times and leaves. There they say that he becomes familiar. While Mo Fan was eating appears San Kong, who again offers him to join his army and that if they offend him he would send his men to destroy his house. Mo Fan again refuses his offer since he does not like the mountains and the forest. Then his classmates disappear, who were there because they invited to the school. There they tell him that his father is as a VIP guest. Mo Fan knows that all that was the work of the old man. The old man makes the presentation of his new adopted son and gives a speech. Then he makes mention of the duel he prepared. It's time for the duel, and the chief hunter is the last to arrive. Both shake hands before starting the duel. Yuang uses a level 2 spell, but Mo Fan counters it with a level 1 spell. He throws fireballs at him, but Yuang was faster. Yuang tells him that he doesn't want to waste any more time and casts Blizzard, which was a level 3 spell. This freezes the whole battlefield, and Mo Fan couldn't maintain the spell. The director tells the old man that if he freezes too long, he might die, but the old man ignores that and says that a fire mage will not die so easily. Mo Fan was trying to align his stars, but it was complicated. But he concentrates and manages to align them and shows that he also reached level 3. He throws a fireball and Yuang says that he will not reach it, but Mo Fan makes that fireball explode. Yuang was lying on the ground and it looked like a clear victory for Mo Fan, but Mo Fan gets up and shows that he was wearing armor. They complain to the old man for doing that, but he says that at no time was it forbidden to use the equipment, and Mo Fan could use it. San Kong tells Mo Fan to give up. Yuang now tells him to give up and admit his mistake, and that wealth is also a power, and to complain to his father, who drives a junk, for not being able to give him anything. This makes Mo Fan angry, and he remembers what his father did for him. He tells him that he has given him everything, and he will show what true power is. There, he shows his lightning element. Everyone is shocked, and the chief of the hunters realizes that he is Fan Mo, and so Mo Fan throws lightning rage at him, which is level 3. Fan Mo tells Yuang that today he is the main character, and so ends the first season of Quanji Fa Shi, also called Full-Time Magister. If you want to know what happens next, you can go to see the Chinese anime that has 5 seasons, or if not, support the video for me to bring the other seasons. And until next time, take care.